tag team, this rash of star running backs who have missed or been limited in practice this week due to injury. The biggest question marks on this list, Todd Gurley and David Johnson. Both those players missed practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Adam, get us going here. Christian McCaffrey as they face the Bucs.
Yes, Susie, they faced the Bucs over in London, and Christian McCaffrey went through practice this morning. Head coach Ron Rivera said he's fine. It sounds like more of a rest maintenance issue with Christian McCaffrey. Not going to be an issue for him on Sunday morning at 9:30 Eastern. He is expected to play against the Buccaneers.
Field, Alvin Kamara and the Saints at the Jags.
We don't like when injuries pop up during the week, Susie, and Alvin Kamara was added to the injury report on Thursday because of an ankle issue. He was limited. No clear indication whether or not he will play. If for some reason he sits, Latavius Murray is the next man up in New Orleans in that backfield.
Adam, huge matchup. Rams-Niners. What about Todd Gurley?
Has not practiced the last 2 days, Susie. He is nursing a quad injury. Sean McVay made it sound yesterday like they could have practiced him yesterday if they needed to. So it sounds like they're managing him. And again, we'll find out today where they list him on the injury report.
Field, how about David Johnson against the Falcons?
Not yet practicing so far this week because of a back issue, Susie. But GM Steve Cain was on the radio in Arizona this morning and expressed some optimism about Johnson playing. He did note he's not 100% certain, but there's at least a chance with David Johnson.
Adam, will Chris Carson be ready to go against the Browns?
Susie, you heard Field mention the fact that Alvin Kamara was added to the injury report midweek. Same is true of Chris Carson with a shoulder injury, limited during practice on Thursday. He's such a physical, tough back that you worry about a shoulder injury with Chris Carson. If there's any questions about his availability, Rashad Penny will back him up.
Field, let's add a wide receiver to the mix. The Chiefs' Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, well, of course, he has been out since suffering that clavicle injury all the way back in week 1. He was a limited participant in practice all week last week. He has been limited so far this week, Susie. It seems like there is a chance in a game that all of a sudden is one that people are seemingly giving the Texans a better chance to win on Sunday in Kansas City.
We'll get to that big Chiefs-Texans date later, but first, Week 6 kicked off last night in New England. The undefeated Patriots hosting the Giants. Both teams banged up but grinding it out on a miserable night. It's our Thursday Night Theater.
It's the 11th all-time regular season meeting between the Pats and the Giants. Patriots lead the all-time series 6 games to 4.
Oh, they got it!
Punish block!
Scored!
Blocked it to Winovich, who catches, runs into the end zone!
Felt like it was 30 seconds. I think it was, I lost it for a second with the moon up in the sky. It was so high up there.
Jones on a 1st and 10. Play fake, going to take a deep shot down the right side for Tate, who makes the catch, still on his feet, into the end zone, touchdown Giants!
They got it on that one.
Welcome to the Giants, Golden Tate. Brady back to throw, he's under pressure, he's going to get sacked, and the ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Giants. What a play by Golden! The Giants are an extra point away from tying this football game up, and Josh Gordon is down and hurt for New England.
Throw to the right, caught in the flat by Hillman, nowhere to go. Jamie Collins is there, ball came loose, picked up by Van Noy, to the 10, to the 5, diving to the pylon!
Second defensive touchdown of the night. Patriots 28 and the Giants 14.
I was thinking about Bill, to be honest, because I didn't want to lose the football because I'd have been in some trouble.
Brady on the deep drop. He throws a long ball right for Edelman, who's open. Dives at the 5. Has the catch. 1st and goal to go. Brady takes the snap. He's going to sneak it off the left side, and Tom Brady going over his left guard. That's a touchdown, New England. Patriots break it open, 35-14. Again, the Patriots are 6-0.
What's your assessment of where you guys are as an offense right now?
We'll see. We're 6-0, so try to get to 7-0.
Not saying much says a lot. The Patriots, now 6-0, have outscored their opponents by 142 points. That's the 3rd best point differential through 6 games in the Super Bowl era, just ahead of the 07 Patriots team that went 16-0. 3 of the other 4 teams in the top 5 reached the Super Bowl. So we should point out that some of that competition hasn't won a game, like the Redskins and the Dolphins and the Jets. But they are 6-0. However, as we sort of dive into the Patriots side of this, the defense and special teams really picked up that offense. Like, how concerned are you about the offense?
Listen, I'm a little concerned. Listen, one thing about the Patriots,
we tend to judge them around Thanksgiving because that's when they want to be playing their best football. But when you watched the game last night, you were a little underwhelmed by some of the things that you saw from the Patriots. And when we roll the tape here, you're going to see a couple things. You know, the first play, this interception by Tom Brady, you looked at it, he had the middle of the field safety, but the safety flips his hip in this particular situation, and he's trying to draw Julian Edelman away from the safety so he can take a big hit. Miscommunication between him and Julian Edelman causes the interception. And then on a simple third and seven, it was a simple just misfire by Brady. The Patriots offensively early have been slow getting out of the gates. Now, that could be due to they have a lot of injuries on offense, whether it be offensive line or their pass catchers. But they're going to have to get guys healthy and just figure this thing out offensively, because guess what? You're going to have the Chiefs and some other formidable teams coming down the road, and it's going to be awfully tough sledding.
Yeah, and Field, a lot is made about how banged up the Giants were. But you could look at the Patriots roster and say almost as much. And then Josh Gordon goes down, a thin receiving core. Where do they stand?
Not the star power the Giants were without, but how about the volume of injuries?
Right.
Last night, the Patriots were down to one personnel group.
Right.
That's all they had the pieces for. So all of a sudden, guys like Jacoby Myers and Gunnar Olszewski, who had only played on special teams up to this point, were playing because Josh Gordon, as you see right here, tried to make a tackle on that fumble return for a touchdown by the Giants. That leg/knee looked pretty nasty at the time. Some good news here. Although he did not return to the game, went to the Blue medical tent, eventually was back on a stationary bike, which at least be an indication that this was not something that was super serious or major. If it was, typically a player is not riding the stationary bike or even on the sidelines. But another injury piling up for the Patriots. N'Keal Harry, their first-round pick, already on IR. Perhaps he returns. Dorsett missed that game last night. It's been a sort of like a meet and greet for Tom Brady with his offensive pass catchers. I'm Tom Brady. Who are you again? Because I don't really know you that much compared to where we were in previous years.
And they're making it work despite all of that. And Adam, what do you make of Tom Brady and all those rushing yards, especially 2 rushing touchdowns?
Well, Susie, this is what Tom Brady's done throughout the course of his career. He's a weapon on short yardage situations. He did it again last night. He and Steve Young are the only quarterbacks here to have that kind of rushing success near the goal line. And basically, they are lacking offensive weapons, as Field said. And I think if you watched Tom Brady's body language last night, he didn't look all that thrilled that he's playing with some of these players and that there's not more depth right now. Who was the tight end in New England? Who were the backup wide receivers in New England? And that seems to be something right now that looked like it was bothering Brady last night when you watched his body language. And so he's got to handle things himself sometimes, take it from the one. It's just what he's done throughout the course of his career. When his team has needed him, he's responded. He's gotten the job done. That's what he's always done. But he didn't look that happy to me last night about some of these moves and some of the depth. And it looks like the Patriots, I think, could be buyers come the trade deadline.
That's interesting. Yeah, you could sense his frustration in the post-game interview when he didn't have much to say. Just in time for Halloween, the Pats' boogeyman defense, 14 interceptions, 16 total takeaways, and now they get like the mini bye, but extra days, which obviously they really need. Sure. So driving home the point here of all this, unbeaten, but all isn't well, New England has not come close to replacing Rob Gronkowski. Patriots tight ends have combined to catch 9 passes all year. They released Ben Watson after his suspension ended, leaving Matt LaCosse and Ryan Izzo as the only tight ends on the roster. So could Gronk make a comeback? There was lots of talk about that last night.
Have you guys had any conversations about him maybe stopping back and, getting the game in?
We all love Gronk, and I think the bottom line is he hasn't put his retirement papers in. So we can always pray and hope.
I would have to be feeling it, feeling it big time to come back. I mean, it's always going to be open in my mind. I love being around the game. I even love watching the game of football now. It makes just appreciation to watch it, just seeing the hits, seeing the glory of it. You understand the game so much more and why fans love the game so much more.
Tell me that.
So, I'll always keep it open.
You haven't answered
I'll always
the
keep it
question.
open.
I'll
always keep it open. I'll always keep the door open.
Why not? Gronk now working for Fox. Adam, what do you think is the likelihood that he comes back?
Well, Susie, think about over the last year and think about how many broadcasters we've seen go back to what they loved. We saw Jason Witten do it at the Combine last February. We saw Josh McCown do it this summer, leaving broadcasting to go back to playing football. And while nobody expects that this will be the case right now, you heard Rob Gronkowski himself leave open the idea that at some point it could happen. It's certainly not a front burner, imminent type of issue, but maybe later in the season, maybe as it gets closer to the postseason, maybe Tom Brady gets on the phone and calls Gronk and pleads with him to come back for this postseason run and try to get the chance to have one more ring. But I think right now, Gronk likes being Gronk. Gronk likes living the life. And again, nothing seems close at this time, but he has left the door open, and I think nobody would be surprised if eventually at some point, maybe it happened, but again, nothing cooking right now.
We just have to wait and see how much Gronk will miss football. It'll be interesting to see for that stretch run. Okay, just warming up here on NFL Live. Ahead, the Watson-Mahomes matchup. Which one of these young and hungry quarterbacks will come away on top this weekend? And the Rams and Niners go head-to-head in a divisional clash. The Niners look to stay undefeated, but Richard Sherman isn't looking for any bandwagon fans.
Don't try to give us credit.